Hey guys, Opal here and welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing a build in the Glade of Trust, and this is a Tiana build using the new little water cottage that we have. This house can be placed on not only land but also in the water, and I think it is just such a beautiful little house skin. It's really cool and something a little bit different that we don't have yet. I've been holding off on doing a build for Tiana just because I have already done her in the plaza, but I also really wanted to do a build in the glade just to kind of see how it would look. It obviously fits really well, and she does talk about loving the glade because it reminds her of home, so I couldn't resist but to put her here too. Now, I probably won't keep this build, but I do think it is really beautiful, and I'm hoping to just change her house into more of those little market stalls instead. As you can see, this build is kind of set up like a little train station, and then you get to her house where she has a little market out the front of her house. And in the front of this little build, I also did a little park area with an extension of the train station, and I don't know, I just think it's really cute and it really does fit the glade really well. I obviously had to use these new water lilies, and I kind of just decorated the river using these items. I added a lot of small random decorations, things that I probably haven't used that much, and it was also really cool getting to put the little house for her little crocodile, because if you've done that quest, you know how cute it is. I also just decorate this little lake here. Now, I could have honestly put this house on land, but I think it looks really cute in the water too, and I think it kind of fits perfectly. That's why I kind of had to do it like this. I'm kind of now just going through and adding a few more bits of foliage before I move on to the next part of this build where we do the park. This is where I did the park, and honestly I really love it. I didn't do it too fancy. It's kind of open and a little bit more accessible than some of my other builds. Sometimes I tend to overdo my builds and make it really hard to walk around in my valley, but this one feels nice and open, which is really lovely. Right here, I'm kind of just doing a little sitting area. I'm imagining this being the train depot station, and it's quite, overgrown. Not overgrown, but it's not the nicest. It's obviously in the glade, so, we have to have those swampy kind of natural vibes. Here I extend the railroad, and I just kind of split it off into two parts, and then I place this mud underneath it. I did have to adjust this a couple of times just to make it fit perfectly, but luckily I can skip that all out for you guys. I also did delete that top mud path up there just because we don't need it. We have a very nice path already. I did end up deleting that, and I just changed the vibe a little bit to something a little bit more structured, but it still gave the same sort of vibe, just not with the wooden pathing. And that was just so when I put this mud path to this little bridge here, it looks a little bit better and a little bit more cohesive. Then I just add the train, which is such a lovely item. I'm really hoping that maybe sometime in the future we get some more kind of styles of these, maybe some smaller ones, maybe some the storage ones, the normal trains that you would see. I would really love it to see that. Here I just make this little wooden path, and as I said, this is kind of like a park area, so it's a little bit open, and I just put some random foliage down just to kind of spruce it up a little bit, but honestly I didn't do too much. I do really love the vibe that this build gives in the glade. I actually really hate this biome with a passion, but this build has made me kind of like it again, maybe just a little bit. Here I'm just placing some items down for this little treasure shop, and then I also just placed some fruit and veggies for this little market here. These are all random items from my inventory. As you can probably tell, it's a very weird selection of items, but here is the final walkthrough of the build. Honestly, yeah, I really love it. This will be tiered down though to make room for a fairy court inspired area, which is going to happen in the near future, so stay tuned for that. I am just loving markets at the moment. I've been putting them in all my builds. I just think they're such a cute way to use some of the smaller inventory items, because you know we always see them in our inventory but never out and displayed, well, for me at least. And this is obviously my favorite little corner of the build with Tiana's home and all of her little knickknacks and things. I don't know, I just think it's really cute. It gives me really good vibes walking through here. Down the end here, obviously it's not connected to anything, so I just put those trees, but I'm just imagining, you know, it goes off into the city. Here are some overview shots of the build. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope this gave you some inspiration and you enjoyed the video. Bye bye.